It finally feels good to be on the right side of a trade or a draft selection or the consensus that you got the pick right, you got the player right, you got the decision right. It feels good to be on the right side of the conversation for once. After all we've been through for the past couple of years, it feels good to be on the right side of the conversation for once. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and here we're going to talk some football, Houston Texans football. Today, we're going to talk about the Houston Texans offense. Most importantly, quarterback C.J. Stroud. He's been getting a lot of love and a lot of flowers all week this week. But is it justified? We're going to break it down before we get in there. Like I've been telling you before, if you liking the content, man, make sure you liking the channel. Make sure you watching all the videos, you commenting on all the videos, you liking all the videos, you sharing all the videos on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, any type of social media platform you use, make sure you share it on the same social media platforms. Also, follow me on social media as well. The link in the description below. We still on the race to get the 6,000 subscribers. We're trying to get this channel growing and growing and growing. I'm trying to get the WR Tank Dell jersey. See, I got to see this Stroud jersey on now. The Texans are going to be wearing the WR jerseys versus the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday on JJ's return. But I'm trying to get the Tank Dell WR jersey, but I need y'all help. I need to get the 6,000 subscribers first. So I need y'all to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a whole nother friend, so your boy can get the 6,000 subscribers so I can get that Tank Dell jersey. So hey, I'm gonna need y'all help. So I need y'all to help me so I can get this jersey. Really appreciate that. Now, let's talk about it because CJ had a phenomenal performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Completely efficient. What was it? 20 for 30, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and everybody's been going crazy. Everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's been, you see all type of videos, everybody's conversation. CJ's a top elevated quarterback just as a rookie. He's doing amazing things. So is it just rookie hype, or is this actually justified? I think it's actually justified. Now, I'm going to put it to you like this. And I'm going to say this, and I know some of y'all going to be like, but after I say that, I'm going to explain a little bit later. But I do believe that the performance that we've seen versus the Jacksonville Jaguars is one of the best rookie performances that we've seen for the Houston Texans from a quarterback standpoint. And to be honest, I actually like that better than the performances that Deshaun Watson had in that 6-game stretch. I know he's out there throwing 5 touchdowns and stuff like that. I'm going to explain in a minute, but I do think that Sunday's performance versus Jacksonville is better than the performances that Deshaun Watson had his 6 starts before his rookie year back in 2017. But we're going to go through some numbers real quick because the elevation of the offense is on a whole nother level right now. Dealing with a bad offensive line, Tunsil being out, you put in and Jones, and now it seems like Jones is probably going to be missing this game as well. All these things is going on and still being able to be efficient. And because of the last 5 quarters of football, the last quarter versus the Indianapolis Colts, and then the whole game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, this offense has been operating on a completely different level. Now, again, we already know what's going on with C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is, for the season, he is 78 off 121 attempts, has 906 yards, has a completion percentage of 64%, a quarterback rating of 89, 4 touchdowns, and on pace to throw for 5,000 yards. But that's not all what he's doing. You got a receiver like Tank Dell as a rookie as well, targeted 21 times, has 15 catches off of 21 targets, catching the football at a 71% completion percentage, catch percentage, has 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, on pace for over 1,400 yards. Nico Collins, same thing, has 15 catches off of 23 attempts for 64 catch rate, 260 yards, 1 touchdown, on pace for 1,400 yards as well. Also, then you got Robert Woods, the third receiver, was targeted 25 times, has 15 catches for a catch rate of 60%, 165 yards, on pace for 900 yards, no touchdowns. Then what that tells me is that you don't have a bona fide receiver, because all these guys, you got your most targets in Robert Woods at 25, Nico at 23, Tank Dell at 21, and then all 3 of them had 15 catches. What that tells me is that your receivers, especially Tank Dell, is catching the higher clip. Like I said, you got 71 completion rate, 64 completion rate, and a 60% completion rate against these receivers and things like that. So what that tells me right there is they're catching the football at a large rate, and there's not really a number 1 target. I think the reason why Robert Woods has a slightly more targets is because he's mostly targeted on 3rd down. He's been on the field longer because Tank Dell really was on the field a lot in that first game. So this is a whole season completion. Now, the reason why I say that I choose what I seen Sunday, that 20 for 30, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Quarterback rating, I think, was like 114. The reason why I picked that over the games that Deshaun Watson had, I know he had a bunch of monster games, 5 touchdowns, no turnovers, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, things like that. It's because, and I said to you, if you don't believe me, you can go back and look at my videos back in 2017, because I said then that the game that I picked the best out of all the games that Deshaun Watson had was that Patriots game, because it was a more efficient game. It was a game that could be duplicated over a 16-game season. Back then, you played 16 games. What we seen out of CJ Stroud versus Jacksonville Jaguars is something you can duplicate over a whole 17-game stretch. Because you're not going to go out there. Now, again, you want to throw 500 yards and 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and 4 touchdowns in a game. You absolutely want to do that. But 20 for 30, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, a clean game, that right there is something that I definitely can see you doing at the very least, those exact numbers for 10 out of 17 games. And then you had other 7 games. You might have a game that might be a down slump here. Then you also might have a game that's a monster game that balances out, and you end up throwing for 4,500 yards, and you're talking about 25 to 35 touchdowns or plus. That you're living in that type of range. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing when you duplicate. When you duplicate his numbers he did Sunday. That's because the numbers you do Sunday in a 10-game stretch, they get you with 2,800 yards and 20 touchdowns. So then you got 7 more games to get you over to get you to the 1,400 yard, 4,500 yard range, and also get you to over 30 touchdowns and things like that. You have the rest of the season to do that with those other 7 games. So that's why I picked what he did Sunday over all that. It's something that's easily duplicated. That's really him. Unlike the Kansas City game with Deshaun Watson on Sunday Night Football, when he had 5 touchdowns. I think he had like 400 yards, no turnovers. That's something that he wasn't going to be able to duplicate. It looked amazing. It was an amazing game, but that was not something he was going to be able to duplicate all season long. Just like the Miami Dolphins scoring 70 points. You're not going to be able to duplicate that all season long. A-Chain ain't getting 200 yards all season long. What the Chargers did, Keenan Allen ain't getting 200 yards and 2 touchdowns all season long. That type of stuff, it's a great performance in an isolated incident, but that's not something you can duplicate over a whole season stretch. What you see now at CJ Stroud Sunday is what you can. So back to what I'm saying about, I think that's the reason why the numbers, people have to sit back and look like, hey man, this is a rookie doing this against a team that people picked to go to the division, go at the very least the division round, win the division. And a lot of people was picking this Jacksonville Jaguar team that made the AFC Championship game. They were picking Trevor Lawrence either win the MVP or be second or third in the MVP race. That's what people were saying going into this season. That's what a lot of people were saying going into this season. And you went to their house. Now, again, we already know the Texans, for lack of better words, have the winning record versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. It is what it is. Over the franchise's existence, the Texans have a winning record over the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we already know what it is. But the thing is, for your rookie quarterback to go in there and do it and not look like a rookie, dealing with the bad offensive line play, and actually the offense play call was superb. It was a great offensive game plan. That one little play that they did to Mechie, even though Mechie almost kind of messed up because he almost ran the season, and I think that's because he hasn't been on the field during training camp. He hasn't been on the field during during training camp or during the preseason, things like that. So his time is not good. But CJ was able to clean it up, and it was a good play. Got the first down. It was a good play. The play that he threw, the 2 big plays he threw to Tank. The first one to get to the 1 yard line, throwing in triple coverage, not double coverage, throwing triple coverage, throwing a complete rainbow, absolute dart down the Tank Dell to get him in there. And then the 68-yard touchdown when the blitz was coming, him changing the play at the line of scrimmage, recognizing the blitz and beating the blitz with a perfect throw, getting your receiver wide open because you recognize the blitz was coming. Let me change this play real quick and let me be accurate, throw the football down the field, give my receiver able to run underneath it and make a play on the football and be able to go down there and take it to the house for 68 yards. Those type of things. That's why I'm saying in Deshaun Watson, that Patriots game, when he made the decision or made the way to how he threw, I think it was to Ryan Griffin. It was a touchdown that he threw to Ryan Griffin when he changed his throwing angle and the way he was throwing it for Ryan Griffin to catch it back shoulder. That type of on the field movement, like, okay, that's something he could duplicate and be able to improve upon. He's doing this as a rookie. The same thing with CJ, and CJ's doing it early on. CJ's actually both the Patriot game and the Jazz game both actually were week 3 as I sit there and think about it. I was about to say it's early on. No, they both those games were in week 3. I just thought about that. But I'm saying that like him able to make those decisions, and like I say, Bobby Slowick had a good game plan on Sunday. I need you to continue to do this. I'm not just letting you off the hook. Okay, oh, he got one guy. Oh, okay, he a good offensive coordinator. I said this previous times. I need 2, 3, 4 weeks of a good, clean game plan. Now they're gonna have their hands full on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That pass rush, T.J. Watt not having your full offensive line, the things that C.J. is dealing with, and he's not letting it bother him. He's not letting it be excuses. Oh, I got a bad offensive line. Oh, I don't have number 1 receivers. That's the talk. The Texans don't got no good receivers. I've been saying that the Texans receivers are unknown. As you see right there, they don't have a bona fide receiver. Like I say, 23 targets for Robert Woods, 25 targets for Robert Woods, 23 targets for Nico, 21 targets for Tank, and all 3 of them catching 15 catches in the first 3 games. Those are the type of things. So they don't have a bona fide number 1 receiver. They don't have that's what that tells me. They don't have a bona fide number 1 receiver. CJ spreading the football around. He's spreading around the wheel. He's getting everybody involved. You out there making Brevin Jordan, who we thought was going to be cut, you actually make him a viable option. Him scoring a touchdown, then making another big play later on in the game to get a key first down. Using viable options, like I said about the whole Mechie play when Mechie almost ran to the quarterback, almost stopped the route, able to still be able to throw the football to him and let Mechie able to get the first down in the crucial moment of the game. Things like that. He's making guys better. I know people was talking about this all throughout the draft process. Oh, CJ had good receivers. He had Marvin Harrison Jr. I talked to Ohio State fans. I know a couple Ohio State fans. A lot of them tell me that even though that Marvin Harrison Jr. is Marvin Harrison's son, it was a highly recruited guy, he wasn't the guy coming into the season. He wasn't supposed to be the guy coming into the season. Now, I'm not saying that CJ made Marvin Harrison because I think Marvin Harrison is still Marvin Harrison. I think he's the best receiver in this draft coming out. But I think that he possibly could. I think he's probably a guy that without CJ probably would have been like a top 20 pick. Top 20 pick, top 15 pick, but because of C.J. Stroud, he's made him the best receiver in the draft, and also make him a top 5 pick. He elevated him from a top 20, potential top 20, top 15, to top 10 to top 5 with C.J. Stroud, because we did with C.J. Stroud. Now I know he's out there doing some stuff too this season at Ohio State. I'm not trying to slight Marvin Harrison the slightest. I think he's that dude. I think he's the best receiver in the draft. But I think that having C.J. help him elevate his game a little bit more, making a good receiver a great receiver type situation, and he's going to make okay receivers good receivers. So I think that's what he's doing right now. He's elevating these guys' play. Now again, they got something to do with it too as well. So you got to give their credit. And Bobby Slowick calling a good, clean game last week. I need to duplicate that, especially with the offensive line issues that we're going to be possibly having, also going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers in that pass rush. So I'm gonna need you to call a good, clean game. You ain't got no excuse. Now you got to do it. Now you have to. You got to help out your quarterback. But we're seeing him do some very, very special things. And like I've been saying, that rookie of the year at the house. Like he on pace to throw for 5,000 yards. That rookie of the year is at the house. Hopefully he gets rookie of the month this month. But that rookie of the year is coming to the house. We're seeing the evolution of an elite quarterback being built. We're seeing it go before our eyes, and he's not doing it with the flash and the spin moves and all that. He's sitting there dropping back and delivering the football accurately, throwing darts that elevating the play of the receivers around you, making them better, giving them catchable balls, putting them in good situations, not throwing, why you throw that? You put him in the wrong spot. He able to triple coverage, I don't care. I'm throwing a dart where only my receiver can make a play on the football and come up with the ball and make a big play. We're seeing this growth right here. And I think it's going to be something beautiful to watch, and it's going to be something for years to come that we got our guy. And you got people out there saying it right now. Plenty of people out here saying it right now that the Texans got their guy. People are saying Deshaun who now? People like, I seen a Would You Rather with Deshaun Watson edition, and they picked CJ over Deshaun Watson. Now we seen Deshaun Watson play bad for the first couple games. He played all right and played good this past Sunday, but we're seeing this evolution. When have the Texans ever been since Deshaun Watson, outside Deshaun Watson? When have the Texans been on the right side of a conversation for the past couple of years? They haven't. But C.J. Stroud is making them, and it's funny thing that people really want us to pass on a quarterback this year. People really want us to pass on the quarterback this year. I'm not even talking about the whole Bryce situation. People really want us to pass on the quarterback this year. Man, the difference a couple months to make. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below. If you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I'll holler.